Good evening, everyone. Daniel Miller here. Thank you so much for joining my Grim Fandango remastered broadcast tonight. As you know, this week I'm having a variety stream week and I'm promoting lots of interesting titles which are available at the moment on PlayStation Now services. This is a service very similar to the Xbox Game Pass, which means that all the games can be accessed immediately without any major need to download a game if you are subscribed to that service. And I have been exploring it and looking for some interesting titles. In addition to that, I was intending to stream some of the blockbusters. But to tell you the truth, this was made not possible by the service itself. As you know, PlayStation Now services had started a couple of years ago, and they were intended to be your Netflix for gaming, basically just offering you those games which can be then streamed directly without any need for download or anything else. And as you know, in order to stream, you will need to be in possession of your data on your console or PC, and then you are reproducing all of that activity directly onto the server. And then you do streaming. So for the games on PlayStation Now which are streaming only through the network and no download, we cannot stream them. Therefore I had to really restrict the number of titles and also the selection had to be based on exactly the same criteria, which means some golden oldies and some very interesting blockbusters, so that all of you could be introduced, first of all, to these wonderful old games. Secondly, for you to get a very good overview on what PlayStation Now services really are, as I believe they're not as widely introduced as they should be. And indeed, for you to enjoy the both, the gameplay, to be able to watch the streams of the golden oldies, and then to decide for yourself whether this is a service for you, whether you like the idea of being able to use your Netflix for gaming or not. And we've already streamed several games. The golden oldie one was Primal, which I absolutely adore. It's the old PlayStation 2 game, and it does have two characters, Scree and Jen, that enter this very strange, distant world, and they're battling all sorts of enemies in order to bring justice to whatever is happening in there. And I thoroughly loved the gameplay. It brought me back to the 90s and my old PlayStation 2 and, all sorts of niceties. In fact, maybe said it wrongly. It brought me back to the last decade because I played it earlier in the last decade. My recollection, my memory is somewhat faint tonight. But tonight we are going to be looking at another great golden oldie. Originally, I played it in the 90s, in fact, and that was on my PC. This is a game called Grim Fandango, which is absolutely delightful, from its quality graphics to its cartoon graphic novel style animation to really very, very humorous comedic dialogue. And all of that together makes it really an enjoyable film noir style of adventure, which all of us will enjoy watching. So just to put in a picture, very brief introduction on this game. Grim Fandango is an adventure game, and it was directed by Tim Schafer, developed and published by LucasArts in 1998 for Windows. It was the first adventure game by LucasArts to use 3D computer graphics, which were overlaid on pre-rendered static backgrounds. And as with other LucasArts adventure games, the player must converse with characters and examine, collect and use objects to solve sometimes perhaps quite difficult puzzles. Grim Fandango is set in the land of the dead, through which recently departed souls, represented as Kalaka-style figures, travel before they reach their final destination. The story follows travel agent called Manuel Manny Calavera as he attempts to save new arrival Mercedes Meshi Colomar, a virtuous soul, on her journey. The game combines elements of the Aztec belief of afterlife with very, very distinct looking film noir style, with heavy influences that include those wonderful 1940s films, The Maltese Falcon, On the Waterfront in the 50s, and Casablanca. So really very, very interesting game indeed, mouth-watering in every respect. And Grim Fandango received praise for its art, design and direction. It was selected for many awards and is often listed as one of the greatest video games of all time. And I agree with that. I remember playing it for the first time, and at the time I think I played the other LucasArts game, which was called Dig, also very, very good one, which is a sci-fi game. And I'm trying to think whether there was another Star Wars, very early Star Wars game as well. And Grim Fandango did take me by surprise, and I absolutely loved it. It was really absolutely astonishing, and it really blended in so well with other adventure games of that period. There were some heavyweights at the time. If you recall, Take-Two was a major publisher, and they had Ripper and its predecessor Black Dahlia, both of which were very complicated adventure games with very, very difficult to solve puzzles. They were based on some form of astrology, and really Grim Fandango was competing with those games in style. And I remember playing all three of them at the time and just loving Grim Fandango probably the best, because its puzzles were not as astrological, meaning I was able to solve them without any major help or input. So it was a commercial failure at the time, regardless of its good reviews, and it also contributed towards LucasArts' decision to end adventure game development and the decline of the adventure game genre of that era, which was indeed to my great sadness. I really loved those games, but unfortunately everybody was really hooked on the other games which were competitive, and that itself was changing basically the rules of production. In 2014, with help from Sony, Shaver Studio Double Fine Productions secured the property after Disney's acquisition and closure, the subsequent closure of the LucasArts studio. So in January 2015, which was about 3 years ago, Double Fine released a remastered version of Grim Fandango, which you probably would have seen on Steam initially, featuring improved graphics, an orchestrated score and director's commentary. And that was released for Windows. You were able to get it on Steam, PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita, OS X and Linux platforms, and also Android and iOS versions followed on May 5th, 2015. A Nintendo Switch port of the remastered version was also released in November of 2018, which was literally just a couple of weeks ago. So, without further ado, I think the best way for us to introduce ourselves to Grim Fandango is by jumping in, and this is what we are going to do next. So stand by.
Sorry for the wait, Mr. Flores. I am ready to take you now. Nervous?
Nervous? No. Just your appearance. It's a little intimidating.
Intimidating? Me? But I'm your friend. My name's Manny Calavera. I'm your new travel agent.
I don't want a new travel agent. I want to go home.
You can't go home, Celso. You're dead. But you're not alone. Everybody here is just as dead as you. That's why we call it the land of the dead. Are you ready for your big journey?
No. What journey?
The 4-year journey of the soul. It is quite a big trip. And I can't lie to you, Celso. It could be very, very dangerous. Unless you were to take that money you were buried with and buy a better travel package from us. I mean, wouldn't you rather cross the land of the dead in your own sports car? Maybe try a luxury ocean cruise? Or, if you led a very good life, you may even be eligible for a ticket on the number 9 itself.
The number 9?
That's our top-of-the-line express train. It shoots straight to the 9th underworld, the land of eternal rest, in 4 minutes instead of 4 years. But very few people qualify. Let's take a look at your records. Well, the bad news is the train appears to be just out of your reach, but I still got a couple of tricks up my sleeve here. Yeah, ha! Yes, that's the ticket. The Excelsior line. Yes, she's a beauty. That compass and the handle will sure come in handy, too. Oh, you're going to have a great trip. Wish I was going.
Why don't you? You could give me a lift.
Oh, I can't leave here until I've worked off a little debt to the powers that be.
Community service, eh? Well, I guess there are some folks worse off than me.
Oh, I'll be leaving here soon enough. No thanks to dead-end, no-commission, low-life cases like yours, Menso.
Hey, Manny. The boss told me to tell you not to leave early tonight. He wants to talk to you about something when he gets back from his trip.
Tell Don not to worry. I'm not going anywhere. Especially not with clients like that. Where do they get these guys? They don't qualify for anything good, so I can't sell anything good. Can't work off my time, and I'm stuck. Stuck selling walking sticks to a bunch of burros for eternity. I need better clients. I need a real saint. I need a lead on a rich, dead saint. ¿Qué es esto? It's some sort of special work order.
To all agents from Office Manager Don Copel.
All right, you boneheads, thank your lucky stars and get to your friggin' cars. We have a mass poisoning on our hands. Too many dead to assign specific cases, so all clients are first come, first serve. So let's see some hustle out there.
Whatever you say, Jefe.
As you could see straight away, this game is so atmospheric, has beautiful graphics, it's been beautifully polished up and remastered, and there is no shortage of this very, very humorous dialogue, so let's just carry on and enjoy.
Better take these cards. It looks like a long day of solitaire for me. I couldn't play this card there. I couldn't play this card there. I don't feel like pitching cards right now. I couldn't play this card there. I don't feel like pitching cards right now. I couldn't play this card there. I don't feel like pitching cards right now.
As you could see, it is this old game, and it's using the old system of saving, and we have to be manually selecting. Yeah, it looks exactly the same as in the old days, and that's a bit of a chore because it takes a bit of time, and we want to be saving every single time just in case, you know. For the younger viewers, this is the way things used to be 20 plus years ago. Saving for a while, it should be really instant. So I don't know what the problem is. There we go, Manny is going up there. He needs to get a new soul, a wealthy, good client, he said. So let's see.
Buenos dias.
Manny, why aren't you at the poisoning?
What poisoning?
The Code 3 gazpacho poisoning that everybody's at but you. Why do I send out memos if nobody reads them?
Where was the poisoning again?
Just ask your driver, for crying out loud. He'll know.
I forget. Am I supposed to be somewhere right now?
Manny, do I have to explain your job to you again?
Yes.
Well, the Manuel Calavera that I know picks up people in the land of the living,
Dead people?
preferably, and he brings them here and tries valiantly to sell them the best travel package they qualify for. If he sells them enough premium packages, our hero will be free to leave the land of the dead. Until then, he and I are stuck here, having the same conversation over and over again for eternity.
Well, enough about me. What's your job like?
Like babysitting, except I don't get to watch TV.
What if we just skip town tonight? You and me, baby.
Well, thanks for the offer, but we'd never make it out of the city alive.
But
In one piece, I mean.
I bet I could get you out if I really tried.
Oh, Manny, look at you. You're a trapped soul and you don't even know it.
Why do some clients qualify for better travel packages?
They led good lives.
¿Qué traes? How do you define a good life?
Better than yours and mine.
So what did you do in life to get stuck here?
What I did back in the fat days is none of your business. You know the rules.
Just one more question about my job.
Manny, you know what to do. Stop playing dumb just to flirt with me.
Any messages for me?
Besides the one about the poisoning?
Yeah.
I only have one other message for you, Manny. I'm not your secretary. I don't take your messages. So get it through your thick skull and stop forwarding your phone to me.
All right. But that sounded more like 4 messages to me. In my heart, though, you're still my secretary.
Manny, what are you talking about? I was never your secretary, even when you were on top. I got one boss, same as you, Don Copel.
Come on, I know you work for another man besides Don.
What are you talking about?
I know you take memos for Hurley sometimes.
Ah, Manny, just beat it, will ya?
Busy as ever, I see.
I'd have more work to do if you had more clients.
Ouch. Where is everybody?
Oh, Manny, did you forget what day it is today?
Oh man, did I come in on Saturday again?
It's the Day of the Dead. Everybody's back in the land of the living, visiting their families like we should be.
Why aren't you visiting your family today?
Ah, the boss is here, so I gotta be here. How about you, Cal?
No one back there I want to see.
And you don't want Domino here alone, getting all the good leads.
Domino's here?
He's at the poisoning right now, stealing your commission.
So, you going to the Christmas party?
After the spectacle you made of yourself last year, I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Any good gossip?
Well, I heard Domino got a raise.
Por favor, tell me some good news, why don't you?
I still love you.
You're all I really need, belleza.
Manny, if you don't mind, I've got a lot of filing here to do.
Right. I te watch you.
I got the trophy. What I did back in the... We didn't see the rest.
Manny, if you don't mind, I've got a lot of filing here to do.
Right. I te watch you.
Big Mr. Bossman doesn't want to be disturbed today.
Mind if I use your hole punch?
Knock yourself out.
Thanks.
Gets the aggressions out, doesn't it?
Got another trophy. Gets the aggression side.
Manny, if you don't mind, I've got a lot of filing here to do.
Right. I te watch you.
You know, the old adventure games, they all have to be a bit like some of the more sophisticated RPGs today. You really were to be looking at every single bit in the environment, and that made it really interesting. And in this case, very, very funny. This game is greatly amusing, as you can see. So what we absolutely need to do at all times, and remember that if you are to play this game, is to save manually. It doesn't have autosave or anything. So every single time we need to be saving manually, as you could see. And by the looks of it, saving in this game takes a long while, which is slightly irritating, considering that the game is really very fluent, you know, with everything. There's no way around to it. So I have to be patient and wait, as you could see. And there we are. So he has seen that there was this car pulling over. Let's go ahead and have a look. And in this game you cannot run him. Land of the Living.
Can't go through on foot. People have tried, but they never came back.
How come? It's been many years since I played Green Fandango. I don't remember all the ins and outs.
The driver demons operate this somehow, and the company won't tell a salesman how it works. Gotta keep us down somehow. Locked.
Hey, who's messing with my stuff? Oh, sorry, sir. I didn't expect... Sales agents usually don't come over to this part of the garage.
Hey, you a driver?
Me? Ha! No. I don't ride them, just wrench them.
I'm Calavera. Manny Calavera.
My name's Gladys. I don't get many visitors. Hey! I got a message for a Mr. Calavera. Your driver said that Mr. Hurley said that he could have the rest of the day off.
Domino sent my driver home?
Yeah, wasn't that nice?
Looks like I need a new driver.
Oh, I would agree with that. Yes, you do.
You want to be my replacement driver?
Me? Oh, no. Sorry, can't. Rules.
Come on, Gladys. I need you to be my driver.
No, I can't. I'm too big.
You're not too big. You're just right.
No, they told me again and again. I'm too big to drive.
You're not too big. You just have a self-image problem.
A what?
Repeat after me. I am not fat. I am thin. Women find me attractive.
Hey, I never said I was too fat for the ladies, just the cars. The ladies like me just fine.
You're not too big. The cars are just too small.
Yeah, those dang compact cars. Hey, that gives me an idea. I could alter your car just a bit with just a quick torch job to let out the seams, you know? But I'm not allowed to modify the cars without a work order from upstairs. I could lose my job.
A work order, huh?
Yeah. I can't torch anything bigger than a cigarette without one of these signed by the boss himself.
Hey, that's my line. Getting people to sign. Back in a snap.
Yeah, too small. I'm not too big. Everything around here is just too small.
That won't help it get signed. 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 That won't help it get signed.
What does he need to do now?
That won't help it get signed. My scythe, I like to keep it next to where my heart used to be. My scythe, I like to keep it next to where my heart used to be. I've got to get this work order signed. I keep meaning to mark these cards. I've got to get this work order signed. This deck of cards is a little frayed around the edges. Then again, so am I. And I've got fewer suits. It's some sort of special work order. I've got to get this work order signed. That won't help it get signed. That won't help it get signed.
So he's probably needing to go back upstairs and talk to his boss, then get that work order signed. It's nicely polished. It's a lot nicer and better than in the old days, has to be said. Bright new colours and, you know.
Eva, I really need the boss to sign this work order.
I'll give it a shot. Mr. Copel, I've got Manny Calavera out here to see you.
Didn't I say no interruptions today?
Sorry, Cal. Maybe tomorrow.
That's too late.
Oh, yeah, like you're going anywhere.
I can't find my driver.
Manny, you know what to do. Stop playing dumb just to flirt with me.
Eva, I really need the boss to sign this work order.
I'll give it a shot. Mr. Copel, I've got Manny Calavera out here to see you.
Didn't I say no interruptions today?
Sorry, Cal. Big Mr. Bossman doesn't want to be disturbed today.
Domino's door is locked. Probably scared I'll steal one of his files. Not a bad idea, actually. Read him already. Didn't help.
Guess he needs a pen. Oh, there's a pen.
Here's Celso's file. That walking stick was too good for him. Here's Celso's file. That walking stick was too good for him. Domino's door is locked.
Big Mr. Bossman doesn't want to be disturbed today.
Well, I gotta go hit the bricks.
Okay, you show those bricks a lesson.
Mind if I use your hole punch?
Knock yourself out.
Thanks.
Gets the aggressions out, doesn't it?
That won't help it get signed. It's locked. Let's see. Where am I on this? Don Copal, Domino Hurley, Junior Sales Associates. That better not be me.
Junior Sales Associates.
It's locked. How's it hanging? We can't operate cars. That's how they keep us from skipping town. Hey, what's going down, clown?
Hey, back off, suit. I'm practicing.
Practicing what?
Wringing your neck. What does it look like?
Twist me up one of them, huh, fella?
Yeah. Twist this, all right?
Bet you can't do a cat.
Shows what you know, buddy. I can do anything. I can do birds, amphibians, famous poets. Go ahead. Name one.
Robert Frost.
Trying to stump me, eh? Ta-da! Some of my finest work, don't you think, Sparky? Some of my finest work, don't you think, Sparky?
This doesn't look anything like Robert Frost. It's huge. I can't open it.
He could die in here, so I better save the game, right? We don't want to lose all of this and then, you know, need to go all over this again. I have to say, last night on PlayStation Now I played Bloodborne, very highly acclaimed game similar to Dead Souls, and I really struggled because it has basically no save points, and the autosave is just done on checkpoints, and that's quite tricky. The enemies are very, very difficult to kill. I kept replaying the same thing again and again, and that was infuriating. I have to admit, I've not played any of these games for quite a few years, and I remember the old games where you couldn't save, and my goodness, they were really hard and arduous. So that is something I do not want to have. Mind you, I'll play Bloodborne, I'll find out the strategy. It looked like a very, very complex RPG adventure game, and with a lot of fighting sequences as well.
I would love to search Don's office right now, but I'm late for the poisoning. Memo from the desk of Don Copal. Hey! Work orders are assigned by my office and are not exchangeable among salesmen. Swapping, selling, and specially stealing work orders will result in severe disciplinary action. I would love to search Don's office right now, but I'm... No time to ransack. Everybody's at the poisoning but me. I'll come back after the poisoning and search the whole room. If I go out that way, everyone will know I was snooping around in here. No time to ransack. Everybody's at the poisoning but me. He's got a lock on it. I can't believe he doesn't trust me. He's got a lock on it. I can't believe he doesn't trust me. No time to ransack.
No time to ransack for sure. He needs to speak to that skeleton, I think. Save the game, of course. I think he needs to connect that object which it had, and then have it on that rope and probably be able to latch it onto the ladder. So that is what we're going to do. At least we are going to try to do that. Just don't understand as to why it's taking so long to save. It's very strange.
My scythe. I like to keep it next to where my heart used to be.
Successful in doing this. So we need to find another way in, by the looks of it.
I'm not walking on the freeway. I shouldn't even be standing here. Can I walk through your tent? I want to see the parade.
Well, walk through someone else's tent, all right? Do I look like a turnstile to you?
Some festival, huh?
Yeah, pretty busy. My carpal tunnel syndrome's really acting up.
But you don't have any tendons.
Yeah, well, you don't have a tongue, but that doesn't seem to shut you up now, does it?
Could you teach me how to do that?
Well, since you're a beginner, why don't you practice the first step?
Which is?
Blow.
My kid wants another balloon animal.
Jeez, what now?
A dingo?
That's my specialty. Ta-da! Some of my finest work, don't you think, Sparky?
Beautiful design. It's like the old style film noir sets, you know, the old Hollywood of 30s and 40s. And it does have this atmospheric aura right from the beginning, plus the dialogue. No one in there. It's a bit annoying though.
What is that horrible squeaking noise you're making?
New shoes. You know, Copal's not really in his office.
Sweetheart, I know what you're up to.
Huh?
You're trying to get me away from my desk so you can link all my paper clips together again. Grow up, darling.
Eva, I really need...
Mr. Copel, I've got Manny Calavera out here to see you.
Didn't I say no interruptions today?
Sorry, Cal. Big Mr. Bossman doesn't want to be disturbed today.
Mind if I use your hole punch?
Knock yourself out.
Thanks.
Gets the aggressions out, doesn't it?
It's some sort of special work order. Memos are for reading and throwing away. Memos are for reading and throwing away, and not much else. Memos are for reading and throwing away, and not much else. That won't help it get signed.
Hey, Manny! Did you get that work order signed yet?
No. Can't we just do it without?
I told you I could lose my job! Manny, if I lose my job...
Hey, don't worry. Just go on back to work. I'll get that work order signed. Somehow. Not when there's a door.
Hey, Manny! Did you get that work order signed yet?
No. Can't we just do it without?
I told you I could lose my job! Manny, if I lose my job...
Hey, don't worry. Just go on back to work. I'll get that work order signed. Somehow.
So really he has to go to that ledge on the top of the building and then... There we are. Coming back to the same piece again, but I need to come up with some other strategy because he obviously was not able to do what we wanted him to.
I'll come back after the poisoning and search the whole... He's got a lock on it. I can't believe he doesn't trust me. To all employees of the Department of Death Bureau of Acquisitions, employees who have made their sales quotas are invited to take the Day of the Dead as a holiday, as long as they make up the time lost on the following weekend. Idiota. That ladder goes to the roof. That ladder goes to the roof. That ladder goes to the roof.
is a bit of a difficult puzzle in here, but we'll work this out. There must be something in the office which is going to tell us.
It looks like Don's rigged his computer to automatically answer his intercom.
Lots of interesting answers in here. Are you trying to lose your job? If you buzz me again, I'll swear I'll jump out of this window. So what's at the end?
I'll just change his auto response here.
Ah, cripe, Saber, just sign it yourself, will you? I'm busy!
That will do the job. So we go back to Ava. Man, he's quite an acrobat, isn't he? Then we're going to get the car. Needs to sign this work order for the driver, for the big guy, to be able to drive. So. There is our Manny going back again.
Eva, I really need the boss to sign this work order.
I'll give it a shot. Mr. Copel, Mr. Calavera has something out here that he says he needs your signature on.
Ah, cripe, Saber, just sign it yourself, will you? I'm busy!
You'll have to excuse him, Manny. It's probably a really hard crossword puzzle he's got in there today.
Had this kind of power.
Well, we all have our secrets.
Hey, I look good in this, don't I?
Yeah, well, they say black is slimming.
I'm driving! Yeah! I'm driving!
Por favor. I could have walked faster than this. Híjole, I'm gonna miss the poisoning. Domino. Ew, the living still give me the creeps. I can't use my bare hands. I'm a professional. It's the fear of death that makes monsters of us all. Boo. I can't reap hamburger, cows are a whole other bureau, not to mention the lettuce. I can't reap hamburger, cows are a whole other bureau, not to mention the lettuce. I can't use my bare hands. I'm a professional.
Nice bathroom.
But we offer several travel package upgrades if you care to...
Cut the yap. I want something cheap where I can get some rest. Now that's it.
Ay, ay, ay.
You know, Manny, I could make this car a little faster if you wanted.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh yeah, slam the front into the weeds, tub the rear end, dual blowers, pop it out of the hood.
You'll get plenty of rest this way, Mr. Martinez, and you'll be safely padded by the foam created when these two chemicals mix, like this.
On second thought, I want to upgrade my package.
Sorry, Bruno, but you didn't qualify for anything better. But here, have this complimentary mug.
No, wait. Can't you find me something where I can move my legs?
You know I'd like to, Bruno, but my boss is a real hard-ass.
I gotta be a hard ass when I got lazy sickle wavers like this jolly boy working for me. Manny, you couldn't find a sale at a yacht club.
I got a sale right here.
I'm talking premium sales, Calavera. Like the kind Domino makes.
How am I supposed to make premium sales with the scumbag clients you're sending me?
Hey! Now you're blaming the clients? I've had it with you, Manny. If you haven't bagged a premium before the next sales report comes in, you're out! Out on the street. No job. No way to work off your time. Just your fancy suit and your big smile and a whole lot of time to kill. Who you calling a scumbag? Why, I oughta...
I'm sick of waiting around for a good lead. Like it's gonna fly in here tied to a brick. It's time to take one.
Big Mr. Boss Man doesn't want to be disturbed today. Big Mr. Boss Man doesn't want to be disturbed today.
Hey, you missed a great poisoning.
Yeah, and you missed a great client. Domino came back from there with a nut.
Híjole, I got a tiny little man with a mean temper and no commission.
Well, at least you don't work for one. Manny, if you don't mind, I've got a lot of filing here to do.
Right. I te watcho.
Manny, if you don't mind, I've got a lot of filing here to do.
Right. I te watcho. I should close Bruno's record before the black marks burn into my screen.
And here it goes. We'll save again, and we'll bring this somewhat shortish broadcast of Grim Fandango to a close, because what we do want to do tonight is basically play Destiny 2. This is, I had completed the main story and I progressed to the DLC content. We've done all the inventory and we are ready to commence with other missions, maybe do a couple of strikes. And this lovely short broadcast of Grim Fandango has brought lots of moments of joy to me, and it was a bit like walking down the memory lane, remembering all these PC games I used to play in the 90s. 3DC. I have to remember all the titles now. Half-Life was one of them, I remember as well, but I think this might have been in 2000. This game, Grim Fandango, Ripper, Hell, then Black Dahlia, then Police Quest, all of them, inclusive of SWAT, then Sierra games like Beast Within, and it wasn't Beast Within, Gabriel Knight, I beg your pardon, Gabriel Knight trilogy, then Broken Mirror, Die by the Sword, and you know, all these other wonderful old games. Well, thank you very much for coming and for watching this broadcast. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay, and I certainly sincerely hope that you were introduced to some of those funny elements of Grim Fandango which might actually draw you to the game. We will continue playing Grim Fandango and Primal later in the week, and we will have shorter broadcasts which are going to be focused on these games. Perhaps we'll do them early in the day as well, as our evenings do need to be reserved for the most popular FPS, and Destiny, certainly Destiny 1 has been exactly that, and Destiny 2 being a combination of FPS and RPG, which obviously I greatly admired. So thank you very much for coming to this Grim Fandango presentation. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay and some of its humour, and I hope I will see you in my Destiny 2 broadcast, which will commence very, very shortly. But on that note, I will wish you all a very, very good gaming night.